The sound of steel-toed boots hitting flesh, the screams, the blood pooling on the concrete. Then the eerie silence that followed when everyone realized how fast paradise could become hell. Tonight, I'm taking you inside one of the most dangerous environments in America, outlaw biker parties. These aren't your typical weekend hangouts. At these events, a wrong look, word, or move can leave you unconscious on a clubhouse floor, bleeding from wounds that could have been avoided if only someone had told you the rules. These are 1% motorcycle club parties. Outlaws gather to celebrate, make deals, and enforce a code of honor that outsiders don't understand until it's too late. I know because I lived it. I started as a desperate prospect in a support club, and eventually became a full patch member. I witnessed violence most people couldn't imagine, and after all those years, someone needs to finally speak the truth about what really happens when the gates close and the world outside disappears. It was supposed to be a celebration, a chance to experience real brotherhood, but what I witnessed was a masterclass in how quickly order turns to chaos when outsiders step into a world they don't understand. Picture it. A fortress-like clubhouse belonging to one of the most powerful 1% clubs in the country. Over 50 clubs represented, hundreds of bikers packed inside. The air was thick with tension, testosterone, leather, and ego. The power structure was immediately clear. Diamond Club members moved like sharks, only acknowledging their own. If you didn't wear their patch, you didn't matter. As someone desperate to belong, I found their arrogance both infuriating and magnetic. They had what I wanted: confidence, respect, and power. Then it happened. One of their members grabbed a woman inappropriately. She slapped him. In the civilian world, it might have ended there, maybe a heated exchange, maybe a warning. But this wasn't the civilian world. Here, the rules are written in blood. Our club president ordered us to clear the area fast. Not because we knew what was coming, but because when a diamond club gives orders, you follow them or suffer the consequences. The beating that followed wasn't a fight, it was a brutal display of dominance. The woman's boyfriend tried to step in. That was his mistake. He was swarmed, attacked methodically by men wearing military-grade, steel-toed boots, footwear chosen for one reason: to cause maximum damage. The sounds of that moment stay with me. The thud of boots crushing ribs, the gasps turning to silence, the crack of bone against concrete. No one spoke, no one helped, because we all knew stepping in meant becoming the next victim. When it was over, both the man and the woman were unconscious. They were dragged out, bloody, broken, and forgotten. The Diamond Club walked away untouched, unbothered, and unchallenged. That night, I learned the first rule of outlaw life. The rules aren't written down, but break them and you'll learn fast. At another party, the same rules applied, unwritten but violently enforced. A civilian, probably just needing to use the restroom, approached a bathroom that was being guarded by a sergeant at arms. Inside, his club president was having a private conversation, possibly about something sensitive or dangerous. The sergeant told him to wait. The civilian refused. "You don't own the bathroom," he said. Legally, he was right. But legally doesn't matter here. In the outlaw world, you just challenged the authority of a man whose job is to enforce order through violence. What happened next was swift and surgical. One punch. Clean. Direct. The man went down hard, unconscious before he hit the floor. No shouting, no follow-up attack, just silence and a powerful message. You don't test our authority. This might be the most overlooked and dangerous mistake civilians make at outlaw events: bringing their girlfriend. It's not that women aren't welcome, but women in these environments are often the source of the most violent confrontations, not by their fault, but by misunderstanding the culture and how serious the consequences can be. Remember the woman from the first story? She wasn't alone. Her boyfriend thought he could protect her. He couldn't. In outlaw clubs, every woman affiliated with a club has a label, property of, on her vest. It's not about ownership like civilians think. It's about respect. Talking to a woman with that patch, that's the same as spitting in the face of her man and his entire club. And the worst part? The woman may not even stop you. She may be friendly, flirtatious even. But when her old man finds out, you pay the price, not her. In this world, men don't defend their ego. They defend their patch, their pride, their entire organization. And the punishment is always more severe than you expect. Outsiders think they can walk into a biker party and act like it's a bar, a festival, or a concert. But this is a different world. One with its own laws, enforced by fists, boots, and sometimes worse. The people who survive outlaw biker culture don't just ride fast or party hard. They learn the rules. They move with caution. They know when to speak and when to disappear into the background. Because in this world, survival isn't about strength or swagger. It's about understanding that everything is earned, nothing is forgiven, and mistakes are paid for in blood. You could end up beaten, hospitalized, or worse. Take the bottle incident as an example, a mistake that seems harmless but can quickly turn deadly. Civilians often think bringing alcohol to a party is polite, a way to contribute and show respect. But in an outlaw clubhouse, carrying a bottle causes two big problems. First, these clubs make significant money from their bars. Selling alcohol helps fund the clubhouse and support members. Bringing your own bottle isn't thoughtful. It's seen as cutting into their income and shows you don't understand how their world works. Second, and even more dangerous, a bottle is viewed as a weapon. Glass can be broken and used to injure or kill. In an environment where violence can erupt instantly, carrying anything that could be a weapon is a threat to be neutralized immediately. Sergeants at arms have been known to confiscate bottles from outsiders and sometimes smash them over their heads, not because the person meant harm, but because they showed ignorance of the rules and risks. The irony is brutal. You bring a gift to show respect, and it gets you beaten because it's seen as a weapon. There is a proper way to handle it. If you want to bring a bottle, you must announce it right away. Approach a patched member, explain it's a gift for their bar, and hand it over unopened. This shows respect for their business and avoids suspicion. Then there's the touch rule. It may seem minor, but touching someone's patches without permission can escalate faster than almost anything else. Those patches aren't just decorations. They represent years of commitment, sacrifice, and brotherhood. Touching them without consent is like grabbing a police officer's badge or a soldier's rank. At a party, you might be having a good time when you pat a patch member on the back or shoulder, thinking it's friendly, but in outlaw culture, that's a serious violation of respect and personal space. The member will push you away immediately. How you react matters. If you get offended or push back, you risk turning a misunderstanding into a violent confrontation with someone trained to handle conflict with force. Alcohol plays a huge role in escalating risks. Estimates show 90% of violence at these parties involves someone who's drunk. Club members usually know their limits and stay in control. The real danger comes from civilians, hangers-on, and wannabes who drink to calm nerves or boost confidence. Alcohol creates a deadly mix of false courage and poor judgment. It makes people think they can argue with a sergeant at arms, flirt with someone's old lady, or ignore warnings. But the confidence alcohol gives is fake. What follows are very real and often permanent consequences when you face sober, trained people who won't hesitate to use violence to maintain order. Despite all this danger, many stay because the brotherhood is real. The respect, even if enforced by fear and violence, is genuine. The sense of belonging is powerful, even if it costs parts of yourself that might be healthier to keep. But the truth is sobering. Most members who leave do so not because of cops or violence, but because their romantic partners gave them an ultimatum, club or relationship. The tough guy image fades when family demands come first. Many men walk away from years of brotherhood because their loved ones can't accept the risks. Outlaw culture is built on violence that's not random, but designed to maintain hierarchy and respect through fear. Members know what will get them beaten, so they adapt. But civilians who don't understand these unwritten rules become victims in a system they never agreed to. The psychological effects are deep, both for those who carry out violence and those who survive it. Victims often struggle with trauma and trust issues. Families break apart. Communities live in fear of club conflicts. Police resources are stretched thin, managing violence rooted in club rules outsiders don't know. Leaving this world means more than walking away. It means cutting ties, changing friends, sometimes moving far away to avoid retaliation. Adjusting from a violent code to a world of negotiation can be hard and disorienting. The appeal is understandable. Everyone wants belonging and respect. But this path comes with a high cost. Cycles of violence, trauma, and broken relationships that affect everyone involved. Recovery often requires professional help to heal from years of trauma and conditioning. Former members face anger, relationship struggles, and adapting to peaceful conflict resolution. This story isn't meant to glorify or condemn outlaw culture, but to reveal a harsh reality most outsiders don't see until it's too late. The violence isn't justified, but it's predictable and avoidable if you understand the rules and stay clear. For those inside, the question is whether brotherhood and respect are worth the price paid in relationships, mental health, and future chances. For those thinking about joining, ask if there are healthier ways to find belonging without accepting violence as normal. The bottom line, this world enforces rules through violence, carries lasting consequences, and exacts costs far higher than anyone expects when they first walk through those clubhouse doors.